Who needs to hear that you love them? Right? Hey, Cece Cheney here. And today that's what we're talking about, right? So there's been a very interesting conversation over the last couple of days about the fragility of life, right? By now you've probably heard that basketball legend, cultural icon, Kobe Bryant has passed away. But one of the things that I keep hearing people talk about is how fragile life is, right? And so I wanted to hop on today and really ask you that question. Who needs to hear that message from you that you love them, right? So I'll tell you this. I totally understand how fragile life is, right? Like I remember vividly the phone call that I got when my dad passed away. It was actually from my cousin. She was the first person to tell me that my dad had died. She called to check on me to see how I was handling it. I hadn't even heard the news. In an instant, my entire life, the people that that were my family in that moment, that our entire life changed, right? Just like it felt like on Sunday when the news broke that Kobe Bryant died, it felt like the world stopped for a second, right? Like all of a sudden, all the things that were happening were about this moment, and that's what it feels like when you lose someone, right? Like it just feels like your world stops. The world as you know it is gone. And, after my dad had passed away, it felt um, surreal, right? It felt absolutely surreal to have lost someone who was so foundational in my life. And obviously, like he knew I loved him. I knew that he loved me. And um, in that moment, I had guilt and shame and feelings that I had to work through because my last interaction with him wasn't what I would have liked it to have been because I didn't know it was going to be my last, right? So the last time I'd seen him, I was getting ready to go back to school, and he wasn't feeling well. And I was annoyed that he wasn't feeling well and couldn't come for the drive back to Waco. I didn't know that feeling of annoyance would be the last interaction that I would have, and so that's the thing, is that this life is fragile, right? I didn't know 6 years later that we would then lose my mom, right? Again, I was very lucky that both of these people knew that I loved them with my entire heart. But there are people in this world, people in this life that may or may not know that, right? They might not know how much you care, right? Maybe you didn't say it enough. And so while you have them here, while you have that ability to let them know that you love them, I want to highly encourage you to do that. So take a look around, right? Who in your life needs to hear from you? Who needs to hear that you love them? Who haven't you told that to in a while? And I just highly recommend write some name down on a sheet of paper. Who would I like to make sure that they know? If something were to happen to me today, who would I want to know that I absolutely love them? And reach out, right? Just send a message, give them a phone call, let them know, hey, I love you, and I want you to just know that I want you to know that I love you, right? Because this life is fragile. You just don't know when you'll wake up and hear that kind of news. So that is what I want to encourage you to do today, is to reach out to some humans that matter to you. Let them know that they matter. I want you to know that I love and appreciate you, whether we are incredibly close or we're just Facebook friends. I want you to know that I love you. I love you, and I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join me for these videos. So I love you. Get out there and let the people who you love know that you love them, and I will chat with you soon. Ciao.